the previous episode, Rahma started working for the Queen and quickly became her favourite maid. But when the king suddenly died, Rahma was wrongly accused. The prince began to believe in Rahma's innocence, and together they started investigating to find the real culprit. Their suspicions turned to Rahma's jealous Uncle Thomas, and they discovered evidence that he had plotted against the king. As they prepared to expose Uncle Thomas, Rahma felt a mix of fear and courage. She was about to confront the man who had destroyed her family, but this time she wasn't alone. She had the prince by her side, and together they were determined to right the wrongs that had shadowed her life and the kingdom. After finding the diary, Rahma and the prince learned a big secret. Rahma's Uncle Thomas was very, very greedy. Long ago, when Rahma's father acquired a lot of money, Uncle Thomas got very jealous. He wanted all that money for himself, so he made a mean plan. On that sad day when everyone was having fun at the king's big party, Uncle Thomas did something very bad. He put poison in the king's drink when nobody was looking. This made the king very sick, and soon he couldn't laugh or smile anymore. Uncle Thomas thought if the king was gone, he could become very important in the kingdom and possibly become the new king. He also made another sneaky plan. He told lies about Rahma, saying she was the one who made the king sick. He hoped that if everyone believed Rahma did it, she would be stoned to death or banished from the kingdom and never come back again. This way, Rahma wouldn't be able to ask for her father's money back, and Uncle Thomas could keep all of it. It was a very naughty plan, and Uncle Thomas was hoping no one would find out. But Rahma and the prince were smart. They found the diary and read Uncle Thomas's plans. They knew they had to tell everyone the truth. They went to the Queen and showed her the diary. The Queen was very sad to see how mean Uncle Thomas had been. She called for a big meeting with all the people in the kingdom. At the meeting, the prince told everyone about the bad things Uncle Thomas did. Uncle Thomas tried to say it wasn't true, but the prince had the diary to show everyone the truth. Everyone in the kingdom was surprised and a little scared to learn about Uncle Thomas's mean plans. The Queen, standing before her people, declared that justice would be served and that Rahma was innocent. The kingdom's trust was restored, and the bonds between its people grew stronger, united by the truth and the hope for a better future. Everyone was also sorry for thinking Rahma did something bad when she didn't. The Queen said, "We must make sure Uncle Thomas can't do any more naughty things." So they decided Uncle Thomas should be taken to his house, where everyone could keep an eye on him until the elders decided what to do with him. Rahma felt sad that her uncle had been so mean, but she was also relieved that everyone knew the truth now. The kingdom could be happy again, and Rahma didn't have to worry about being sent away. The prince smiled at Rahma and said, "You're very brave, Rahma. We did it together." Rahma smiled back, happy that the truth had made everything right again. After they found out the truth, Rahma's Uncle Thomas was arrested by the palace guards. He was taken to a big room in the palace where all important decisions were made. This room was like a classroom, but instead of learning lessons, it was where the kingdom figured out right from wrong. Now it was time for Uncle Thomas to explain his actions. The room was full of people from all around the kingdom. They came to see what would happen to Uncle Thomas and to hear all about the naughty things he had done. Rahma was there too, standing quietly, feeling a little nervous, but glad that the truth was finally going to be known by everyone. The Queen was very serious as she listened to everything. When it was time, the prince stood up and told everyone about the bad stuff Uncle Thomas did, just like they found in the diary. He showed the diary to everyone so they could see it was true. Uncle Thomas tried to say it wasn't true. He looked really worried and kept shaking his head, but the evidence was too strong. Everyone could see what he had written in his diary about his mean plans. Then it was Rahma's turn to speak. She stood up and looked around at all the faces watching her. She told them how sad she was that her uncle had done such bad things, especially when all she ever wanted was to be a good maid in the palace. "I didn't do anything wrong," Rahma said softly, "and I missed my father and mother very much." When Rahma finished talking, there were tears in some people's eyes. They felt sorry for not believing her before. The Queen stood up and said loudly so everyone could hear, "Rahma is innocent. She has been a loyal and kind person to us all, and we owe her an apology." There was clapping, and some people even cheered. Rahma felt a big relief in her heart, like a heavy backpack full of rocks was taken off her shoulders. She smiled, finally feeling free again. The Queen then looked at Uncle Thomas and said, "For being so greedy and telling such big lies, you cannot stay in the kingdom anymore. You must go far away where you can't do any more harm and never, ever return to this land." Uncle Thomas was taken away, and Rahma knew he wouldn't be able to bother her or anyone else again. After the trial, the Queen came over to Rahma and gave her a big hug. "I'm sorry, Rahma," she said, "and thank you for helping us find the truth. You are brave and good and always welcome here in the palace." Rahma felt happy and safe again. The kingdom had seen her goodness, and she had helped save the kingdom from Uncle Thomas's mean plans. Now she could look forward to happy days in the palace, knowing everyone trusted and believed in her once more. After the big trial, things in the kingdom started to feel better. The sun seemed to shine a bit brighter, and the flowers in the palace garden looked a little more colourful. Everyone was relieved that the truth was out, and the bad feelings were going away. Rahma was happy again, helping around the palace and sharing smiles with everyone. The prince, who had watched Rahma be so brave and honest, started to see her in a new light. He noticed how she treated everyone with kindness, even those who hadn't been nice to her before. Day by day, the prince found himself talking more to Rahma, wanting to learn more about her and tell her about his own thoughts and dreams. One lovely evening, as Rahma and the prince were walking in the palace gardens, the prince looked at the beautiful flowers and then at Rahma. He saw that she was as lovely as the flowers, and his heart felt full of warmth and affection for her. "Rahma," he said, stopping under a big leafy tree, "I've seen your kindness and courage. You've shown me what true strength is. I've grown to admire you so much." Rahma blushed a little and smiled, looking up at the prince with big, wondering eyes. The prince took a deep breath and continued, "I wonder if you would think about being more than just my friend. Would you think about being my wife?" Rahma's eyes grew wide with surprise. She had never thought the prince would ask her something so important. She remembered all they had been through together and how kind he had been. She thought about how nice it would be to always have such a good friend by her side. "Yes," Rahma finally said, her voice soft but sure. "Yes, I would love that." The prince grinned, his heart leaping with joy. He took Rahma's hand and they walked together, talking about their future. News of the royal proposal spread quickly through the kingdom, and everyone was excited. They all loved Rahma and were happy for their prince. They started preparing for a big wedding, the biggest the kingdom had ever seen. As the wedding day approached, Rahma and the prince spent a lot of time together, planning their future and helping the kingdom heal even more. The prince's love for Rahma grew stronger each day, and Rahma found herself happier than she had ever been. Together, they looked forward to a future filled with love, trust, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow for their kingdom. Rahma and the prince visited townspeople, listened to their stories, and made plans to help everyone feel safe and happy. On a bright and sunny day, Rahma and the prince got married in the palace gardens, surrounded by all their friends and the joyful people of the kingdom. The air was filled with music and laughter as everyone celebrated the union of Rahma and the prince, who had found love and trust in each other after a time of trouble. Their wedding was not just a celebration of love, but a symbol of the kingdom coming together, stronger and happier than before. Rahma and the prince looked forward to a future where they would rule with keenness and fairness, always remembering the lessons they had learned through their journey together. The day of the final verdict was a solemn one. The palace court was filled with nervous energy as everyone awaited the Queen's decision. Rahma stood quietly, her fate hanging in the balance. The Queen, looking both regal and serious, rose to address the gathering. "Today, justice has been served," the Queen announced. She revealed that Rahma's uncle was indeed the true perpetrator of the king's murder, a revelation that sent whispers of shock throughout the crowd. The uncle was led away, his head bowed in shame to face his punishment, banishment forever from the kingdom, never to return again. Turning to Rahma, the Queen's expression softened. "Rahma, you have shown immense strength and grace under fire. The kingdom owes you an apology," she declared, officially exonerating Rahma. The courtroom erupted in applause, a sound that washed over Rahma like a healing wave, finally clearing her name and restoring her honour. With the truth revealed and justice served, the kingdom slowly began to mend. The Queen, determined to prevent such a tragedy from happening again, introduced new laws and measures. These focused on greater transparency in court affairs and stronger oversight of the royal council. Trust was gradually restored as the inhabitants of the palace and the wider kingdom saw the positive changes taking effect. Rahma, now seen as a heroine, worked alongside the prince to heal the community. Together, they visited towns and villages, listening to the people's concerns and ensuring their voices were heard. This fostered a renewed sense of unity and loyalty among the people, strengthening the bonds within the kingdom. The story closes on a hopeful note. Under the bright skies of a new dawn, with Rahma and the prince now leading the way, the kingdom looked forward to a future filled with promise. Their leadership was marked by a commitment to fairness, justice, and transparency, inspired by the trials they had faced together. The kingdom flourished as new alliances were forged and old wounds healed. Rahma and the prince often reminded their people of the importance of integrity and kindness, lessons they had learned through their own experiences. Celebrations were common, and joy returned to the land. As they stood together one morning, watching the sunrise from the palace balcony, Rahma and the prince discussed plans for further reforms and community projects. They were determined to leave a legacy that would ensure the safety and happiness of their kingdom for generations to come. Under their guidance, the kingdom not only recovered but thrived, becoming a beacon of hope and resilience, a testament to what can be achieved when leaders govern with compassion and a steadfast commitment to truth. The story of Rahma and the prince, from darkness to light, continued to inspire all who heard it, symbolising a new era of peace and prosperity. Thank you for joining Jum's journey and experiencing the power of acceptance and resilience with us. If you found her story inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more captivating tales ahead. Until next time, farewell.